everybody. Welcome to the Fab and the Furious, and this is who we are. My name is Roxi Fab. I am the host, and I'm going to do some introductions. We're going to start this way. So this is Belito Garcia. You're going to be able to find him on Instagram at whoisBelito Garcia, and I'm going to let him tell a little bit about himself.
Well, all right. I'm Belito Garcia, and how you doing? I'm Belito Garcia. Some of you probably know me, seen my face before, heard the name. Actor, model, host, entertainer. So I've been around for a while, doing some things, and now I'm here with the Roxi Fab show, and this is what we're about to do. Get it in.
I'm excited because Belito's crazy. To his right is Naomi Studevin, correct? And our Instagram is at Nay_AKA_Phoenix. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Naomi.
Hey, my name is Naomi, and I am the founder of my own business, which is Advocacy Unlimited. I do education and behavioral health consultancy, so I've been around, seen a lot, have a lot of stories to tell, so you never know what you might get out of me.
All right, and that's her hair.
Right.
I just wanted to point that out. That's her hair. Okay, yeah, we know it's not mine. It'll change weekly. That's her hair, right? It's gonna be a little mad about that today. Right? To her right is my girl, who I've known for almost 20 years, because Zachary's gonna be 17 on next Tuesday. This is Cassandra Marshall. You'll find her on Instagram at CZM5847. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Cassandra.
Well, hi, my name's Cassandra. My mom call me Cass or Cassie, whichever one you're familiar with. Just make sure you put the C on the Cass and Cassie. And known Roxy for many years. And I'm a business manager for an electrical construction company. Been with the company for 25 years. Do most of the accounting work, things in that nature. So that's my business side. My other side is I'm a little thrown off, so you will see my personality change throughout this show. It might be professional, it might be hood, it might be prissy, but that's me. So I'll introduce y'all to my personalities throughout the series.
What do you call them? Wait a minute, your alter ego.
Yeah, it's
right,
Cass,
your alter ego. Okay.
Cass, Sass, and Caramel Tasty.
Oh, all right. Okay.
See, I told you we had stripper names.
All right.
There you go. So you can imagine what Caramel Tasty is.
I didn't know. Belito, I didn't know.
Yeah,
if I would have known, I'd have let you give me, because I know you got one too. What is it?
Well, they call me the Latin Mandingo.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. I like it. Mine is Anastasia Beaverhouse.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, Naomi, you got one?
Phoenix, AKA.
She put it in. Okay. We are missing our girl Rema Thomas. I don't know her Instagram, but I'll get it for you next time. She's on a boat and we're hating on her right now. But she'll be back with us sooner than later. But last but definitely not least, I said that a little too fast, is my homie for a while. I don't know. I just really like this guy. He's really, really cool, and I like everything about him. So I'm glad he joined us. And his name is Kahaun Vicks, correct? Vicks. See, I said he was my homie for a long time.
He didn't get the last name right.
I did, because he has a relative that was in this play I was in, and and it's funny because I was like, wait a minute, is it Hicks or Vicks? And you know what, Hicks went well together with it, but Vicks goes better. So whatever. But you can find him at Instagram at KAHAUN.
Yeah, I'm just me.
He's just him.
I'm just me on there.
You know what I mean? So he's
fancy.
going to tell you a little bit about himself.
Kahaun, I'm a government employee. Dibble and dabble in some other things, real estate. My daughter is an actress. She's kind of just getting started. Happy to be here. Excited. Same conversations I have at my job with a bunch of people. Ready to have them here.
All right. How's your daughter?
7.
Yeah, she's 7. She is like, oh my God, she cracks me up. She's about 15 on her personality side, though.
Wow.
Like, seriously. And then she speaks Spanish, right? She speaks Spanish? What does she speak?
Some Portuguese. Some
Yeah,
Spanish.
yeah, she's a riot.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's a riot, but she's such an actress.
Where's
Like,
she learning
Hmm?
Where's she learning Portuguese?
My wife is Brazilian.
Oh, okay. I'm Angolan. I speak Portuguese too.
right. Well, don't have a sidebar conversation.
Exactly. What y'all talking about?
I don't speak.
Don't have a sidebar conversation. Oh my God.
I heard Portuguese. I was like, oh well, all right. You know.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, well, I speak nothing but English. I speak this much Spanish just to get by. You know what I mean? If I need to get through something, I can be like, I know what you said. I know what, you know what I mean? But that's it. You know what I mean? So, and that goes because, you know, me and Cassandra went to Cancun, and that's where I had to pick up a little bit of Spanish. You know, what was going on, what we were eating. You know what I mean? That guy, wait, I know, wait, because we're going to talk about, we got a good topic. And the guy was like, every time, what was it? Every time you picked up a drank water or picked up a fork, we take a shot of tequila. It was breakfast.
Wow.
Okay, it was breakfast.
You on vacation? So
Look, it was a riot. We'll talk about crazy stuff another time. But today, our topic, oh Lord, our topic today is what is wifey material? That's what we're going to talk about right now. What is wifey material? So, I'm not a wife. I've never been married. I desire to be married though, and I know I will. But I don't know what that requirement is. You know, is there a list? Do y'all like? Do you?
Say yeah.
Well,
I feel
Like y'all don't know it. Y'all don't have a copy, but
you know, I mean, well, I want the scoop though. Do you make a list like in your mind, like what it is?
I think the woman defines.
I want to hear the ladies.
Wifey material. Y'all start that
I
off.
want to hear what y'all.
Brooke
I
Child.
want to hear what y'all think.
Are you married?
I was married.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're currently married.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, y'all gotta give us the scoop.
No, but I mean, what
What
what is your?
What does
what
it
do you
mean?
think
What's the
wifey
definition
material
of it?
is? What do you think wifey material is? You know.
Well, to me, wifey material is basically, it's not general. You know what I mean? It's specific to each person.
Okay.
And then it's like, it's just a list of requirements that you require in a mate. You know, some people have shallow reason, but that's my definition. They might not be shallow to you, might be shallow to me. And, you know, I mean, some things, I think it's based on the individual. But you always hear on the blogs and online,
Right.
oh, she's not wifey material.
Right.
Oh, she did this, but she's not wifey material.
All right, so then it makes us think. So what is
Wifey
what
material.
is
You
it?
get
You
mixed
know,
messages.
right? So because I could think like, okay, well, you know, I have a home, I'm clean. You know, I mean, like, you know, I could run down a list of things. I don't have no little children. I carry myself well. But then it could be on the flip side. Well, you don't have this, you don't have this, you don't have this, and you know, there's, I don't know. So,
I don't know. I think.
I mean, it's definitely individuals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's definitely, but
Are there some? No, I'm gonna go my counting stuff. Excuse me. Are there some fixed variables that's like overall,
like
every woman should have?
right.
That's like universal wifey, and then you kind of like fine tune it with your variables. Like, you know, like okay, a wife material is this for everybody to be a wife.
Right, because what we
Now
see
for
on
me,
blogs, yeah.
I can do this. I'm gonna add these things.
Right.
Because what I see on Facebook and stuff is, I'm sorry, it's like, you know, if she don't have no job, she's this. And if she doesn't have this, if her credit score ain't this, then she's that. So if she don't, you know, like, that's what we see. Now, don't get me wrong. It works both ways.
I don't care about any of that.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
You know, you gotta know how to cook.
Right, so
Right.
that's
It's not.
You gotta know how to
What's your take on
clean.
it?
Right,
What's your
so-
take on it?
What is my take on it? I
Yes.
think definitely it's individualized, but you hear a lot of guys say they want a certain thing or don't want a certain thing, but then it's what they actually end up looking for or ending up with. And I think that's what it is for us as women. It becomes kind of confusing. For me, I'm me, regardless of, you know, what the standard is. There are certain things that I do and I like to do. You know, I cook. I like to cook. I don't cook because I think that's what's going to make me wifey material. I cook because that's something that I like to do and I like to feed people. The way that I carry myself, the way that I dress, me going to school or whatever it is that I do, it's not with in the back of my mind saying, oh, this is what a man wants in a wife, so this is what I'm going to do. But like, for example, the hair, right? Guys will say, oh, I would never date anyone who wears a weave. And I'm like, oh, let me pull up this. You like this picture of me?
Me neither.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's a weave. So don't tell me that you don't like weave. I don't like a woman that wears makeup. Okay, I'm natural most days, but I bet you if I walk in with a face full of makeup, you're not going to turn me down.
Right.
So guys say one thing, but in reality, accept other things.
All right, so I mean, what I'm hearing is your perception is basically, as you know, just from the three of you, from what I've gathered, is that you're more worried about what people are saying what wifey material should be.
Not necessarily what I'm saying. People.
No, but it's not because it's like you guys are giving examples of television and what you hear. Well, this guy said this, and
Right.
Well,
because we don't know what it is.
Yeah, but
so that's the only examples that we got.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why worry about what someone's definition of wifey material is? If you carry yourself a certain way, if you're a certain person and you know who you are, then you'll attract that person. But if you're trying to keep up with what they're saying on television or what the guy next door said he likes and this and that, whatever, then you'll never be wifey material to someone. Right.
So I want to ask the women a question. When y'all look for somebody, do y'all have a list?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most women operate off a list.
Absolutely.
So is the list based on what you want or what you need? Because to me, what you need is normally what's longer lasting.
Right. You're right. I don't know. Y'all jump in on that while I ponder.
Well, I think as I've gotten older, it's been more so towards what I need, what I've experienced, and said, okay, that was nice, but that's not what I need. And especially when you're getting older, your own I guess take on life in general, what you see as important changes. Having children that are getting older, everything starts to change, and it's like that stuff that was important to you in your 20s is not important to you when you're 40 and over. It's very different.
So is it based on like kind of like a superficial thing, or is it like a self-reflective? Because for
what
me,
would you
it's
consider
superficial. Like I'll give you an example. If for me, if I look at myself and I say, I'm not, I guess, as spiritual as I want to be, right? Then maybe I'll recognize that I need a woman that's going to make me do that because I'm not doing it.
Right.
So then I'm going to look for somebody that's going to make me go to church, read the Bible, get into that. Or if I'm a person, to me, I'm very like self-aware of a lot of things. So in a lot of ways, if I know I'm not good at something,
Right.
then I got to look for somebody that can like complement that.
And
So
I think
sometimes
that's
I
what it
don't see people do that in some ways, and then you try to fit people sometimes like what they say
Like a puzzle.
a square peg in a
Right.
And then that's when all the complications come in.
But that's what I was trying to get to, that I didn't hear anything about your own assurance. I didn't hear any of that. And so if you aren't sure of yourself, because it comes down to you. So whatever you think is what you attract, what you become. So if you're caught up on what people are saying what wifey material should be,
Right.
and not really focusing on inner, yourself, because it doesn't matter what, belief system, what belief you have, but they all say that everything that you need comes from within.
Right.
And a lot of times we spend our time and our whole lives looking without.
Absolutely.
So wifey material is already within you.
Oh, most definitely.
So but you're saying most definitely.
Yeah, most definitely. But if you look at it this way,
Look at it
as
which way?
Which way is we were brought up, little girls were brought up. You gotta learn how to cook. You have to learn how to sew. You have to do this. Ain't no man gonna want you if you don't know how to do it.
From your generation?
From my generation.
I don't know if that's going on.
Well, I mean, I'm 50.
Oh, it's
so
absolutely not going.
I'm 50, but basically that's the way I was raised. You have to do certain things as wifey duties.
Right. Because
You
my
know,
parents didn't.
make sure
Right.
you're like my mom to this day will take all her clothes and iron them all in one set and like sit the ironing board up with a chair and watch her stories. You can better get me an iron. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not gonna iron no 2 hours worth of clothes.
Right.
But that was spray starch and everything.
Right. That's
Stiff
what they
ass
did.
pants.
That's what they
But basically that's what we were raised at. That's what had embedded in our heads. And then now that, we're growing older and into our own, It's like, hold up.
And
I
society's
think mom
changed.
told us
You know what I mean?
something
Yeah.
different, or it don't fit no more.
So you don't believe in them roles anymore?
Yeah.
Like those traditional.
I don't believe in rules. I believe in whatever you good at, that's you. Whatever I'm good at, that's you. I had the last 3 relationships I had, well, not the last one, before that too. I don't cook. I know how to cook very well. I hate cooking. I'll cook Christmas and Thanksgiving.
So how y'all eat?
Here's my sign.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody be like, oh my God, you cook so well, but why you never cook?
Yeah, but who said
So
that?
you gotta find a man that cooks?
I'd love to have a
Well,
man.
all my
I would.
relationships, my men have cooked ever since I was in my 20s.
Amen.
'Cause you don't
Hallelujah.
And yeah, but the last relationship I was in, he couldn't cook a lick.
So how y'all eat?
Oh, we ate. First we started with the ordering stuff, and then
But eventually you
all
were
of a
cooking.
sudden,
That's the
but
bottom
then
line.
I changed and I started cooking.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe he brought that out in me because like it was like I ain't never cooked for nobody. Nobody. I only cook for my damn kids. They grown. No. But it was something about this dude that said he was hungry.
Right.
And normally I'd be like, you want us
And
to
he
get
wanted
something?
you in the kitchen doing it. That's
And-
all.
And he didn't even see now. I just went down there.
Because you felt
Fish
it.
up in here.
Look, you felt the love in your soul, like, oh my
But
God,
it took
let
me
go in the
to 50
kitchen
years
and
old to
cook
get a
him.
man for me to cook for.
I get it. I get it. I
It took
get
me
it.
all these years. But you
I
know,
get it.
but it's people, that's how I was raised. And then I used to question myself over the years. And I always had a low self-esteem. And it was like, maybe I'm not wifey material because I don't cook. Or, I'm not Betty Crocker. I'm not the person that's going to, what's the name? Cleaver.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be up here dusting every day and, have your slippers by the door.
With the
No.
little apron on. But what it
Why would you
is
have to do that though?
Yeah,
because that's what we
I'm
see.
confused.
Like, I think
Some men love that.
that's what we
Yeah,
see.
That's what we
but
see.
if some men love that, then how come those men aren't married?
I don't know.
Oh, they married?
Are they?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
well, in this situation.
No, but here's the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make
I
is
know
that
what you mean. Like, it's,
Yeah.
it's within us. What we
I
can do,
agree.
we can do.
Yeah.
And as long as we're loving and what you put out in the universe is what you
Don't
get
come
back.
back.
I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. I
So-
really do. But
yeah, so,
we're
okay.
going by, I think right now is, like you said, blog wise, Facebook wise, Instagram, social media. Life is social media. Period. It just,
Not
I
for
don't,
everyone.
I
You know
know,
what
no,
I-
not for everyone,
I-
but, because I don't want it to be. I
Right.
really don't want it to be. But it is, like with the things that I do, I've had a publisher say, okay, well, I'm gonna need you to get your Twitter followers up. I'm gonna need you to get that.
Yeah, but that's
I don't wanna do
that's
that.
business. But
You
see,
know what
here's
I
the
mean?
thing too.
So-
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it quick. So I think with wifey material, that's what we see. We see that on the timelines. So what you think is, well, she got to do this, and this is what we're told. You know what I mean? So then on the inside,
telling
we're
us?
women.
As
Men.
children.
What man?
As
Yeah, I've never told
Well,
him.
the
Yeah, I've
thing
never
is,
told
I
a
think
woman that. Like,
I'm more
I asked
so
the
along
guy
the
that one
lines
time. He
of what,
said, "I want a housemaker." He said, "What you want in a woman? What are you looking for in a woman?"
And that's what he needed.
He said, "I want a person that's understanding, spiritual." You wrote a good homemaker. I was like, "Oh,
yeah, but
you
see,
got me chopped." But
I
but
know. I know.
But no, I
But
just
they
think
asked for
that,
that.
kind of back to what Kahaun was saying, is that self-reflection, knowing yourself, plays a huge part in it.
Mhm.
So
Yes,
that's
it
pretty much what I was getting at. It's on both sides, right? So you're saying that as women, you need to be okay with yourself and know what you want within, yada yada yada. But I feel like
just as a person,
it's kind of, but that's what I'm saying. I think that's where the disconnect is in today's relationships, is that both sides are paying too much attention to social media and what it's supposed to look like and how I'm supposed to act and what the perception is. So a lot of men are now in this space. To me personally, I feel like it's kind of, you're on one side or the other. If you're a professional woman and it's a professional man, he feels like you have to check off certain boxes, and what we see in
What boxes?
depends on
One.
the person.
I think people
looks
just,
a little more like this than like this.
Yeah, but I think people.
yeah.
That comes from institutionality.
From who?
Like, you-
Right, right.
From black men?
It's, I mean, I get
It's
that.
there.
It's a
It's what I'm saying is that
I'm
there
gonna say
is.
something.
I'm not. we're not talking about the woke people. I'm talking about in society in general, especially if we look at like celebrities and things like that. That's usually, but that's what I'm saying. But no, think about it. That's what we're not talking about. So again, certain people. So it might be your circle might be very different than what we see.
I don't think so. I think it's the same.
I don't know because then you should see what we see.
Well, no,
because
I want to say something.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to say it like not in a defensive way, but if I say it, women take it this way, right? Mm-hmm. For me, when I guess when I'm dating or whatever, I'm kind of looking for, if I'm looking for a wife, I'm looking for somebody that I could be their father, basically. Because to me, in a lot of ways, that's what a husband is.
Oh no, I get it.
Oh no, I don't.
No,
Break it
but
down.
why are you laughing?
All right, so
Yeah, break that down. I don't understand, but
No, wait,
When
because
you
I
get-
open
I
my
can-
dad,
I'm-
my
when
when
dad
you get
knows.
married, right? When you get married,
no, I
when you
understand
get
it.
married,
The supporter,
I know.
I understand
The-
that.
I don't
Protector
get it.
and all that kind of stuff. I
if you
understand.
follow the whole tradition of getting married,
Right.
basically your father
Mm-hmm.
walk you down the aisle,
Right.
and he's given the responsibility to this new man.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the role your dad played was he was supposed to be the provider, your protector, give you guidance, somebody that you respect, you honor. So to me,
like my dad.
I look at that like
Exactly.
if I meet a woman, and I feel like in a lot of ways
Right.
now, because women have been through a lot of ways through no fault of their own, because there's a lot of factors, right?
Right.
Incarceration,
Mhm.
to society,
Right.
a lot of men to me like being raised by women, right?
Mhm.
So in a lot of ways now women are by themselves, and then society reinforces this whole like I'm a strong woman.
I don't
Which-
need no man.
Yes.
The more I
know
see that means that I can't really interact with you, because in some cases I might need to protect you from yourself.
So my
Yeah.
question would be, how many men do you know that think like you?
See,
I mean, not a lot.
But the question is,
That's
no.
but that is
No,
that
the
is the
question
perfect
is-
question
no,
to
it's
ask.
not.
Is that
No, it's
I
not.
love the way everything that he said, like Roxy said. Of course, that if any smart woman would say yes, that if you explain it that way, absolutely, that's what I want.
It's not easy.
However,
No, it's absolutely
there's
easy.
very few men that present them. Nowadays, you see a lot of, oh, she better be able to do XYZ. She better come with hair. She better, it's all these what she
Yes.
better do and bring to the table. And all. I very
Well, a woman
rarely
is
see a
supposed to
man say,
be a helpmate.
I'm trying to be a woman.
Right.
It's very few that I see
So
say
I don't look at, like I say when I had, I guess, a career, if you want to say so. I work at the government, right?
that. Right.
When I met my wife, she basically was like a cleaning lady.
Mhm.
She kind of in a lot of ways, she created a job for herself, right? Because she was a foreigner. Now, for me, my guidance is to teach you how to turn that into a business. Because maybe you're just a worker at this point.
Right.
Now, to some people at my job, their thought process was, well, you here, and then she's here.
Mm-hmm.
But you basing all that on her income at this point. To me, a lot of it is like, I'm supposed to get with you, and in some ways we're supposed to like evolve together. So it's things I'm supposed to teach you and you're supposed to teach me. Which none of that is based on your career.
There's
Right.
none of it.
None of that
It's
stuff.
like to me, it sounds like individuality is lost because as listening to you, as the ladies right now,
Excuse me.
I hear some individuality, but then there's like some conflict within yourself. And again, it all goes back to knowing thyself. Once you know thyself, then you know what you want. And once you know what you want, then you can attract those things. And it's all on, what you say to yourself, and not just what you say to yourself, but what you say just in general. If you're saying that there are no good men out there, then you're not going to meet any good men.
Right.
You're saying, well, where are those guys at? How many guys think like you? And it's not about how many guys think like him or think like me or, whatever. It's how many guys out there think like you. Because I can tell you right now, every man that you've met, all three of you, are men that you attracted. Subconsciously or consciously. And until you can define what you want. So your man, the man that you're going to meet is going to be a reflection of you. So until you can face your reflection and be truthful with yourself and look in the mirror and say, yeah, I want a guy that can do this and I can do that, but can I do that for myself? Because you can't look for a man to do something for you that you can't do for yourself.
But I think we
But
already
see,
know
now what
that
y'all
part.
saying is conflicting.
Right,
It sounds good, but then it's conflicting.
No,
in a way.
it's not. It does. It's not.
It is, because-
no. But what he's saying, I can piggyback off of what he's saying because
Okay.
now, like for instance, he said his wife, you know, she cleans,
All right.
and he's looking at her like, all right, well, you know, we can start a cleaning business,
All right.
you know. So now his guidance and being familiar and knowing the culture here and how things operate here, he can guide her in doing that.
Right.
But see, but today's women, you know everything.
No.
Listen, I'm not
She's
saying.
a today's
I'm
woman.
not. See, now you're being defensive.
No,
Now you're being
But when he's
defensive.
saying this,
You're being defensive.
in a lot of ways, she's the same way. See, what I
Got you.
realized
Yeah.
with my wife, right?
Mhm.
And this is people. I don't even think it's a woman.
And
thing.
she does have a business, and is for hire. Like she's
You're-
got staff and everything. I'm just trying to tell you. We'll talk about that in a bit.
Your natural reaction normally is to be defensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I separate defensiveness from stubbornness. So I already know most of the time, like when I talk to my wife, and it's not like everything goes like smoothly. I gotta tell her things I feel like 4 times. This is just what the average is that I say, right? But I know that 3 times she's gonna, maybe 2 times it's gonna be ultimately immediately. Oh, you saying this, you saying that, is gonna be defensive. The 3rd time is gonna be some, I kind of get your point, but I'm still. And then normally the 4th time is gonna kind of be like, all right, I'm coming around, and then I'm gonna put in like an effort to try. So to me, I can work with that. And not to say that, you know, like I'm perfect or I got everything figured out. But to me, if she just kind of took the approach of like, you know, I'm
So were you
perfect,
saying
flaws
that
and all
from the
or
very
whatever.
beginning, like before, like in the courting process? Were you saying that same?
Well, I feel like in some ways she might have had a problem with this, but in the beginning, I'm getting to know you. And it might be things that I see, right? But what I explained to her is, okay, she came here at 18, right? I don't really know a lot about how her parents raised her. I kind of got to see that over time. So the more things that I see is like now I can kind of see what you're used to. Like I can see that she might put responsibility on me because I'm just a naturally responsible and like honorable person. So I'm gonna do what I say, which I feel like she figured that out. And then I could tell that her dad was probably like that. And she saw her mom always defer to him.
Okay.
So for me, a lot of this is like, that's a good thing. I want you to depend on me or defer to me. But in some cases, we got a daughter. Our role model for her is you. So she's going to get her idea of handling things, taking care of things. You don't want her to basically go to a man or come to me. So I basically got to teach both of y'all how to be dependent on yourself, how to start planning for, you know, not dealing with problems when they come, but maybe foreseeing it. So for me, a lot of that is, in some ways, I'm supposed to teach her things, right? And then I look at a lot of that where a woman, to me, normally teaches a man how to be more, I guess when people say in touch with your feminine side or whatever it is. But for me, like, that's sometimes men need that from a woman.
I don't think it's feminine side. I think it's just there's a feminine and masculine energy, and the energy in itself doesn't have any gender. And the way we conflict things by adding gender to things. You know, we add gender to God, the Creator. You know, we add gender to, you know, just the term feminine energy and masculine energy. You know, there's no gender to feminine energy, masculine energy. One's a receiver and one's a giver. And in everything in life and in nature, there's feminine and there's masculine energy. If you look at the trees and around the universe. And so you know, the feminine energy is the energy that manifests things. You know, it takes whatever it is that you know you want, you give it, and it gives you fruit. Masculine energy is the energy that I guess stimulates, or it fertilizes, or what, for lack of better terms, that energy. So a man will have an idea, and a woman can then take that idea and turn it into something, birth it into something. So it's like, the saying, a house is not a home until someone makes it a home. So you give a woman whatever you give a woman, she multiplies it. So that's the feminine energy. And the same thing, we all of us here have both the masculine and feminine energy within us. We get an idea, and then we take that idea and we start to work on it, and then we birth something. But we misconstrue the term. As soon as you hear feminine energy, I ain't, and it's like, why you getting so defensive?
I ain't no big, I ain't soft.
And then, you got women walking around here thinking that, oh, well, I need to tap in more to my masculine energy. And then they walking around here with boxes and stuff, and it's like, no, you got it all mixed up.
Boy, I'm cool.
It's like,
That's a little bit far.
no,
I got you.
but
I hate the alpha female term.
yeah,
Right,
but I mean,
right.
Yeah, okay,
yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Your homie called herself that one time.
Oh, really?
Well,
Yeah.
who you met me through, right?
Yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
if you look
yeah.
Sounded
at
ridiculous to me.
alphas, I
Right,
mean, just
and
like
that-
what is an alpha? Like,
I get it.
Especially
define-
when people say alpha female, typically it has a negative connotation to it.
Well, it has a negative for
Right.
men too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And but
But
she
it
was
does.
like that though.
It's
I
more
mean, she
of a
was very
go-getter.
demeaning to her husband. She was always talking down to him. She was really
Yeah, because
was
she got the-
always,
she got the mis-
and,
you know,
and
she's-
he took
she's got it all
that
mixed up.
downplay side. Like it was
I gotta
like,
be
whoa,
masculine.
wait a
Being
minute.
masculine
Right.
doesn't mean that you gotta, grow hair in your chest.
Right.
Right.
Being masculine could just be the fact that maybe your male partner is the one that can actually take your idea and say, oh, all right, well, we can do this. He's helping his wife, establish a business.
Right.
So now he's using that energy that he has within him to be able to do that. Maybe he's just more in tune with that energy. Whereas people misconstrue where it's like, oh, feminine energy, masculine energy is, I gotta walk around with my chest out. And it's like, no, it's energy. So what do you, so what are you attracting? What are you working with? And so the whole thing with, is she wifey material? Is he, a husband material and all that? It really comes down to individuality again, because a lot of us get so caught up with tradition or religion or, media. And it's like, you can't, because all of us are individuals. What's inside of me is in me. I might have an idea in my head and it's like, I want to do this, but I need a woman who, who's good at this, because I can look in the mirror and face my weaknesses.
Right. Like you're right.
But a lot of people don't face their weaknesses.
Right.
And so they try to, focus on their strengths but you can't, you can't get stronger, like if you're right-handed, then most likely your left hand is a little weaker than your right hand, because you're doing everything with your right hand. So there's got to be balance. And so there's got to be balance within yourself. But the only way to be balanced is for you to look in the mirror and face yourself first.
That's why I don't like the term "you complete me." Like that was just
Yeah,
this
that-
whole
yeah,
thing.
I
Like
hate
you
that
complete
term.
me.
Yeah,
Nobody should complete you.
Exactly.
Everybody should come into the
Exactly.
relationship
completed me.
a whole person. It should be
You know, all
two
that-
whole people. You
Yeah.
complete me. No.
Like 50-50.
I think
you
that's
know?
impossible.
Right.
Like
no.
50-50,
You still
like
can't come in
relationship
complete.
is not 50-50. A relationship is 100-100, because
Right,
you're working on yourself
exactly.
100%. He's working on himself 100%.
And you're supposed to
then
bring that
together,
100% to the
yeah,
table, right?
so if you bring in half a
That means that
cheesesteak,
you're broken.
and I'm
you're
bringing half
pieces, you're saying.
fries and stuff, then like we're not gonna eat. We're gonna be hungry.
Right.
So it's like everything is, you gotta bring you're all into everything. So you can't go into a relationship saying, well, he's gonna cook and I'm gonna clean. No, it's both.
I
of
be
you.
thinking like that though.
Are those,
That's where you gotta change your
Are those
I
things
be
important though?
thinking like that. Like I don't
No,
want to
it's
cook
not
and he
important,
can, so why
because
don't he cook?
Well,
and
I'm saying realistic.
Like, that's the balance.
I don't think it's
That's
important.
what I. That's
No,
what
I don't either. But
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
I don't
asking
think it's
realistically.
important. I think
What, the
realistically,
cooking?
yeah.
Well, no, not the cooking.
No,
part.
but
What
just,
But I feel like in a lot of ways we've been socialized
Mm-hmm.
based on like the level that we at or we perceive ourselves to be, where people feel like you look for that.
The
So-
roles.
No, like I'll give you an example. Like, say I don't know, I work somewhere and I'm a vice president or whatever, right? And in some cases, I'm socialized to believe that I have to talk to somebody or meet somebody that's on the same level as me.
Exactly.
Or if I have a master's degree,
Yeah.
I can't be with somebody that basically only
Blue
graduated
collar or
high
something.
school and
Right,
dropped out. And I've heard women say this, and in some cases it was like a false equivalence.
Yes.
Right.
It's like, it was a girl that one time that worked at my job, where based on our job, she felt like, well, I'm here, and it was like a guy, I think, worked at the toll booth and tried to talk to her, and she was like, well, he's a toll booth worker.
Right. Yes. Yep.
And I'm like, well, at the time, we had just started at the job, so our salary wasn't,
Right.
you know, to where it is now.
Right.
We basically was like interns. So I had to point out to her, like, yo, right now, he probably makes like $20,000 to $30,000 more than you.
Right.
Right.
Which to her was like, but he collects change
But
in the
he's still
booth.
a tool.
But why does it matter?
Right.
But I'm like,
So
no.
what part of that equation matters most to you?
Right, 'cause
Is
he got
it
a
the job or is it the salary? Like, what is
Well,
it?
I think it was more
For her, it was the job.
Status.
if I'm
It was the look.
if I'm in my environment and I'm with my friends and
It
my
was the
people,
look.
Right.
I can't.
Yeah, but
It's like I gotta make up
perception
a
of
fancy,
others,
maybe
yeah.
a fancy name for her. I
Right,
can't
right.
introduce him as a toll booth.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you know, that just
No, and that's
again,
right. You're right. That society's like
Oh, I
that.
know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very much
and
so.
we let society lead us. You know, when I, it's like me, I don't care for what society. You know, people might look at the way I dress, and you know, they might look at the way I just interact with others, and they might think like, oh, you know, he's something strange with that, about that guy, because not all guys dress like that. He don't look like the average guy or whatever, that you see on TV or on the streets. So they automatically put you in that category, and it's like, yo, I'm not that guy that you saw on the street. I'm my own personality. I'm somebody who's comfortable in my own skin, and I enjoy myself. So I look in the mirror and I'm like, you know what, this looks good on me. It feels comfortable, and I'm gonna rock with it. Where you got people who don't have that confidence.
Right.
So again, wifey
And a
material.
lot of women don't.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Don't.
You know,
And that's why we are how we are and where we are.
Yeah.
And with who we're with and
Yeah.
all those things.
And then, like,
What's
on
the
the
reason
flip
though?
side of
What's the
that,
reason for that?
The confidence.
Well, when you say a lot of women don't, like, what do
There's
you,
a lot of
what do you
women don't
think
have solid
the
self-esteem.
reason is for
A
that?
lot of a lot of
Exactly.
it is low self-esteem.
exactly.
But why?
The belief in themselves. Well, it could be just themselves. It could be society. It could be what my friend has and I don't. It could be a bunch of things with a woman.
I noticed that a lot.
And it's definitely
you know.
society. Somebody
Social media
recently
is the
told me
devil,
something
man.
Social
very
media is
disturbing.
Horrible.
It
There's
is.
a lot-
I mean,
you know,
I don't
Because
even want to
even
blame
kids
social
are
media
looking
because
at-
before social media,
It was
we still had
magazines.
those issues.
It was
No, but I
magazines
think
and
it's
things
on
like
1,000 now.
It
I see
is.
that a lot.
It
It
absolutely
is. But
Yeah,
somebody
I
told me a
would
10-year-old was
disagree.
looking and said,
Yeah.
"Oh, I would want her body."
Right.
Whose body? A 10-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's like at
That's
10, body and what your body type is and what it looks like should definitely be the last thing on your mind, especially in a way to say you want this person's body. And I think social media and technology, remember when we were kids, you had what you had outside and in school, you went home, you went to sleep, it was over, it was done with. Now they're in the bed looking at what people are saying. They're looking, it's 24/7. For us, we got a break from the nonsense. You might have fought somebody out there,
Right.
in the street. You come home, go to bed. Y'all might play with each other the next day. But it's just not like you fought, and now not only do the neighborhood kids know, but the entire school knows, and the next neighborhood knows, and the world knows.
Because it was videotaped.
Because now
and it's on
it's
Twitter.
on, right.
It's a completely
World
different
Star
thing.
or something because
Don't
you
get
got
me wrong.
jumped.
It's
but
like
I
you
mean-
said. It's still all about you. But
Right.
it's like those things. It's just like I wouldn't sit here and lie and say that there's parts of me that I have a little bit of low self-esteem. The average person doesn't see that or think that because they see what they see. You know what I mean? But I always say, don't you may see me. I could be anywhere, and I'm there to do a job. Whatever that job is. So I'm there. But when I come home, you know what I mean? It's hard being Roxi Fab every single day, all day long. You know what I mean? So
But why is it? Why
that's
is it hard?
because it's a.
Aren't you feeling?
We'll
aren't
talk
you
about
fulfilled?
identity another time.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean,
We'll
just,
talk about identity at another time, but that's that self-esteem, that think you're not living up to this. It's society. Like it is. It is. It
but I
is.
Is that,
think-
is that based
And
on
see,
where
this
you
is-
that's based on where you evaluate yourself? in
yeah, or
comparison
is
to
it based
society?
on what you're? Yeah, or
I think so.
Yeah, but see, I think
because I don't sit around and like compare myself to Cassandra or something.
No,
you know what I mean?
See,
like,
but you shouldn't be comparing yourself to anyone but
Anybody.
yourself.
Right, absolutely.
You should wake up in the morning and say, what did I do yesterday, or what didn't I do yesterday that I could do better today for myself? Not what who bought a new car or who dropped that new album and who's having a baby on social media. Like when Beyonce was having a baby, it was like the biggest deal. And I'm like, yo, but what are you doing for yourself?
Right.
I wake up in the morning and I'm
She
like,
got a
all right,
husband.
what do I need to do today that I didn't
She
do
already
yesterday?
got a husband. We don't even care.
And I think if everyone had the mindset of, all right, I have my goals, I have my my dreams and what I want to do. All right, what didn't I do yesterday to get me closer to my goal or my dream or my vision that I need to do today? If people woke up with that mindset, I think people would be more fulfilled. Today we have a lot of unfulfilled adults.
How do you teach that?
It's not how do you teach that.
It is, because remember,
listen.
as adults we grow up and you have life happen around you. And so nobody wakes up and says, I want to have low self-esteem. Nobody wakes up and what you're talking about, yes, it would be the perfect world that if everybody woke up that way. But life happens, and things happen to people, and you develop these characteristics about yourself. So when I say teach that, I can say consciously that I might tell my children, you're smart, right? I might tell my daughter, you're beautiful. I might say, if she comes home and she's upset because somebody said something about her, I can say, don't worry about that. You like the way you look. You like the way you dress. So that's what I'm saying, is that like everything that you're saying is, of course, we would all love to wake up and be that full of confidence as you are. But that's just not reality. So then it's how do we get to that point? So again, for me,
even with us being single, because I'm thinking about since we're talking about wifey material, because we gotta stay on the topic, right? Because we're like, we're in it though. It does tie in. It ties in. Because because we still ain't get that list. Right. We still ain't get that list, but I get it. You know what I mean? But it does all tie to it. But just make sure that we're figuring it out, because I know we're going to talk about so many things so many times. You know what I mean? So just make sure that we're bringing it back around of what we're really trying to talk about, because I know where you're coming from. I do. I mean, I absolutely do.
Yeah, but it starts. You can't be wifey material based on what somebody else is telling you what wifey material is. Your wifey material based on knowing who you are. Like, listen, I know I don't like to cook. Right. So at the end of the day, when I meet someone,
you can't lead with that though.
No, it's not. I'm not saying you can lead with that. I'm not saying you can lead with that. But something happened to get her to that point. So back to your question is, how do you teach that? Right. All right. Well, in order to something takes 30 days to become a habit, right? So now we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s, and we have these habits. And now we're asking ourselves, well, how do I get to be that confident person? All right, well, first you got to figure out, how did you get to be so unconfident?
There you go.
And once you figure out how you got to be so unconfident, now you can work on each day being more positive. So start with just one thing. If you wake up in the morning, look in the mirror and say, you're beautiful. All right, that's just one thing. And then if you do that for 30 days, guess what? You're going to wake up on the 31st day feeling like the most beautiful person in the world.
Yeah, but I'm still going to have a roll of fat that I still want to get rid of, that
and
I don't like in a bathing suit, and he's probably not going to like it because his fat is there, and oh my God, now I'm fat, and I'm never going to get a boyfriend or a husband. Like, my God.
And that's what I said. See?
All right? Because that's where it goes.
That goes back to what I said earlier.
Because that's where it goes.
That goes back to what I said earlier.
Is that where we not go? That's where we go.
It goes back to what I said earlier. It starts with how you look at yourself. It starts with how you speak to yourself. So if you're waking up and you're looking in the mirror and saying, oh my God, I don't like this fat. I'm never going to meet a man. And guess what? You're never going to meet a man. That's exactly never going to go away. That's exactly how it goes. Until you get up in the morning.
That's what we do.
Instead of waking up in the morning and say, oh my God, I hate this fat. Get up in the morning, lay your butt on the floor and do some crunches.
We ain't got that kind of
or just say, Look at this.
Yeah.
Good stuff about this thing right here. I'm straight. I'm good. I'm good.
You're right.
Got something to hold on to. There's good stuff under
You're
that.
right.
It's
You're
good.
right. You're right because
And accept me as I am.
If you look at there's two ways to look at it. You can look at it and complain about it, or you can look at it and say, man, listen, I'm beautiful. I love all these curves. And guess what? You're gonna meet someone who's gonna look at you and say, you are beautiful. I love all your curves. And you're gonna be like, you know what? I told myself that every morning. And he's gonna say, really? And you're gonna be like, yeah. And he's gonna be like, well, I want to tell you that every morning too. And that's how the relationship starts. And that's how the relationship starts. And all you did was
Yes,
change
and then
the
we gonna say,
perception.
but
All you did was change your perception.
My Lord.
All you did was change one thought. You changed one thought, and that one thought process then turned it, it just rolled downhill.
You know what? And I do agree. Because you
So,
ever see
again,
how when
this-
you're in a relationship, everybody says, for some reason, as soon as I'm in a relationship, that's when everybody come at me. I always attribute it to
because now
that
you're
because you're
feeling
confident,
good.
right?
Exactly.
You're not looking for nobody. You don't care who's looking at
Yeah.
you, who sees what.
Yeah,
You're like, I'm
because
good.
you
Like,
know
I
when you
got
get
mine.
home, he's gonna be all over
Right.
you.
So
gotta
it
have
does.
that
You
mindset
exude
with-
that
you exude that
confidence,
confidence.
yeah.
So if you look in
I
the
do
mirror
agree
and you be
with
like, look at these girl.
So I want to ask a question about that.
Yeah.
In your pursuit of, like, say, husband or wife, looking for husband material, wife material, do you think it's like an active pursuit? Do you think that's good, or do you think it'll find you when you're ready?
Are you asking the ladies or are you asking all?
I'm just asking everybody.
Oh, I'll find.
Because I feel like some people look for it, right? And it's
Yeah.
sometimes it's based on age, especially with women. It might be like, I'm 35.
Yeah. Well, I
Get
mean,
it.
I'll,
You know,
I'll
I
let
got
them
this
answer
window.
First. I'll let them answer first because I know, like, for me, to answer your
And
question,
they're really looking. It's like, I'm trying to fit this in.
Yeah, but see,
Right.
again, it goes back to if you ask me, this is just this is me. This is how my thought process is, and I look at the positive in everything. If I get out, if I go outside and I have a flat tire, then it's wherever I was trying to get to. I don't need to be there. That's why I got a flat tire. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, go get that. It's like I'm just wasting energy now. I'm gonna look at that and say, maybe I don't need to be where I wanted to go. So just
I'm
that.
learning that in 50.
Yeah.
But
In this year of 50,
and there's
that's where I'm
nothing
like,
wrong with that.
you know what? The
There's
car
nothing
didn't start the
wrong
other
with
day, and I didn't freak out. I was supposed to go somewhere, and I didn't freak out because I was actually going to go pick up the baby and then go to West Philly of where I needed to go. So I thought about it like, at least you weren't with the car not
baby.
starting in West Philly with the
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
I was like, it's all good. Don't
Yeah.
even trip. It's not
Okay,
that deep.
listen,
You know
the
what I mean? And I was
universe-
all happy. I came in the house like, I did that mentally good. It was good. I was really excited about that. I was like, wow, you didn't freak out. And I was like, Mom, guess what? I did what you said. I'm serious. I'm so serious. I called my mom. I was like, guess what I did? I was so hype. Because I'm always like, oh my God, I'm her. And I was like, I don't want to do that at 50 no more because it's just, I don't want that kind of energy. That I
You
can't
gotta
do
watch
it.
your
The older we get, I think our perception of stuff and our qualifications for mates change.
Oh, because I've forgiven a lot of stuff.
Oh, I was so shallow. I was one of those girls when I was younger.
No.
When I was real younger. If you had bad feet, I wasn't messing with you.
What?
You are not gonna put them things on me if your feet was distorted.
And what your feet look like?
Baby, I get them things done there all the time. I can.
That don't
And if
mean
I get an operation to get a corner moved or a bunion, I'm be walking around this joint
I was
with
about to say, that don't
with
mean
a
nothing.
boot. So that was in my 20s.
So basically, we
Now,
did
at my
have lists at the
50s,
time. There's
And my
there is-
50s is totally
Yeah.
different.
So what's your list now?
Yeah, but
My
we're going
list
to
now?
deviate from the question.
Oh,
Are we
it's
going to
totally
deviate from the
What
question?
is it?
But she got a list up.
I got a list.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what is it?
Because my list now is somebody that loves, cares, respects me, that is able to, I'm trying to think, because see, I'm weird. I'm not weird.
No, you're
My
right.
parents think I'm weird.
Hey, you think you're weird because your parents been telling you that.
But they are though, and that's what we've been battling with every mate I had. But I don't look at a person for what they have or what they can do for me in financial terms, because I'm gonna be alright financial. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I didn't realize this to my last relationship. My last relationship ended in June, and it was my fiance, and he passed away a month before my wedding. And he died. They passed away from cancer. And my mom hated this dude at first. And it was straight from, he don't make as much money as you do. He don't, look at this house and look how you live. Look how he do and you not this. You deserve a lawyer. You need this, you need this. I'm like, oh, I'm hood as hood could be. Don't look at my salary and my personality because that don't match. You know what I mean? But the simple fact is, out of all the people where you need to find somebody with a good job and good benefits and this man taught me more about love than anybody. And it wasn't about what he had. And when we met, he says, we came in each other's life for a reason. You don't need a man to take care of you, you provide. He said, but he had a lot of pressure on him because he couldn't provide to the level that I wanted. Or he thought I wanted. And the fact was, and we complimented each other. I mean, you could stay in the house and just talk and laugh all day and don't leave. And you was cool. You was content. You know, but he said, he was telling me, he said, baby, I don't know how to manage money. You know how to manage money. You got a business degree. I need you to help me manage my money. Okay. Anybody else in turn was, oh, this man, he don't know what he's doing. He's messing his money up. He ain't responsible. And I didn't look at it that way. I looked at it as, this man just don't know how to do this. Did I look at him differently? No. Did I put him down? Oh, you ain't paying my rent. You can't pay my rent. Then what you talking to me for? Well, you ain't got a car. What you know? But we complimented each other. And I might, on a financial tip, it might have been more me than him, but that didn't matter. But it always made him feel, I always made sure it didn't make him feel lower. I always made him feel equal. You know what I'm saying? And when he would always say, oh, I wish I could do more financially, and I tell him all the time, you give me more than money can ever buy. You know what I'm saying? But it took me.
That's key.
It took me to this last relationship at the age of 49.
Well, that's cool.
And you know, but your parents, and my mom hated him because he didn't make a lot of money and all of his status. And then when he went to my mom, he was a really great guy, and he came to my mom and he told her he liked me and everything. And my mom, old school, 74, I don't think you make enough money for my daughter. She needs to help out with her bills.
Y'all make the money now.
And I'm like this, and I just looked at her, and he looked at her, and he's like, okay. And then she said that didn't work. So she says, all right, I'm gonna get away from her. She don't like to cook. And you know, you want somebody to cook, she don't know how to cook. And he was like, we can order out. I said, right then, I said, that's my baby.
Alright. So Naomi, I just want to wrap this segment up. Say your last piece.
No, so basically it's not about what society says. It's not about what was taught to us when we were younger. You know, roles have changed from the 40s and 50s where you got to have the husband's out working and the wife is staying home, blah, blah, blah. Things have changed. And for us to be taught that at a young age and we are breaking, it took me 50 years to break out of all that. You know, you have to have this, you have to have a car, you have to have this, you know, and that's just how it is, you know, but it took me a while to realize that love ain't got nothing to do with that. You know, and I met a lot of busters thinking like that. Like, these some boy ass dudes. But you know, I done met some dudes then be like, my mom be like, shh, we got this again. But it worked out this time.
That's good.
So Naomi, what's your new list? If we're just gonna call it a list. That's what we're calling
You
it.
should have started with me.
We're calling it a list.
In general, I used to think one way. I could do it all by myself. I used to be that person. I can, but I don't want to. That's my final piece. I don't want to do it by myself.
I like that answer. That's an easy answer. That's easy. You can, but you don't want to. All right. I started off with you, so I'm going to end with you. Okay, you tell me what's yours. What you know what I mean. Don't be like, I don't have, you know what I'm talking about. You know you're married already, but you know what I mean. Like what, you know.
My list is simple. Somebody that's honest. And my big thing when I meet people is to me, like I guess your past is, number one, is a predictor of behavior. And on top of being that, it's like, to me, something to learn from and then moving forward. So I ask a lot of questions, which is normally annoying to women. And I won't let you skip past it. So for me, like, you know, one of the big things for me with my wife is that it was questions that I asked her even about relationships and stuff that she answered.
Mm-hmm.
Where I feel like some people, if you try to hide that or you kind of skip past it, then to me it's like we can't really build like a basis on it.
Mm-hmm.
So at the same time, I gotta tell you about me too. So that's really what I look for with people. Like, can we talk? And I know everybody puts up like the representative or who they want to be. And I say that about social media when you say that a lot.
Yeah.
Because
That's exactly what that is.
80% of that is,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And most of the people that's always like the booed up, I'm loving couples, it's kind of like,
So
the reality is they fight every day too.
Oh,
It
yeah.
ain't just all,
Oh yeah, they just ain't displaying it.
yeah. I mean, there's nothing that's that perfect.
Right.
Never.
Absolutely.
So I look for that, really. Like somebody that's willing to do the work. And to me, like, and I gotta be willing to do the work too.
All right.
Like
All
together.
Right. All right, Belito, let us have it.
I think, for me, what worked for me was, going back to what Kid was saying as far as like pursuing. I pursued whom I wanted to be, and in my pursuit of me, of myself, I found my reflection. And when I found my reflection, I knew right then and there that that's who I wanted. So you find yourself in someone else when you know yourself. So pursue yourself. Every day you should get up to be that better you. And when you pursue that better you, you're gonna meet that better you in someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And then there won't be any questions. So then you won't fall for anyone.
What's that line again? You'll find yourself in someone else. What? You said something else after that, right?
Yeah, so you'll find yourself in someone else when you find yourself within.
Okay.
So basically you'll find your reflection.
Right.
And so
Yeah, write that down.
And then you said that from the gate. You said
Yeah.
self-reflective. You said it from the gate.
You'll find your reflection because you know yourself, then that's what you're gonna attract.
That's hard though.
It's very
Yeah,
hard.
but it takes time.
Most people don't look at them.
I mean, that's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to really say, be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
Number one.
But that's why people have problems with relationships.
Yeah.
Because a man meets a woman, or a woman meets a man who asks a lot of questions. She's getting frustrated because she can't answer those questions truthfully because honestly she doesn't know the answers.
Frank hasn't said it out loud in
Right.
how many years?
Right. Right.
And doesn't know, maybe she just doesn't know who she is and can't answer the question properly.
Right.
Oh, that ain't gonna work out.
Well,
That's a
I'm gonna
fact.
look.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a piece of what all y'all said, and that's gonna be mine. No, I mean, but I get it. It's good. I'm actively dating, and I just want to have fun. I think I focused on so much on, I'm the picket fence chick. Well, people don't see that, but I'm her. I want to be married in a Cinderella ball gown. I'm her, and it is what it is. But now I'm just like, yo, be easy. Get out your head. Get out your own head. Just let it flow. Just relax, and I'm like 100% better on that. I stopped looking at a list and picking stuff apart.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't even know what I want. I just want somebody who's cool like me, that we can rock out.
Exactly.
But you need to be as strong as my pop though, because my pop holds it down all day, every day, and I'm an only child, so he holds it down quadruple. And that's just, he's my rock. I mean, my dad's been in and out of the hospital, unfortunately, for the past couple of weeks, so it's been like really terrible mentally, And I'm like, I need my dad. What are you doing? Hold on, wait, So I know what you said. Like, I do. It's very, very similar to my pop, but I like what everybody said. The love and care and respect, non-material, non-financial. He gave love, self-reflective, complimented each other, feel equal. And, I can, but I don't want to. Honest. Your past is a prediction of your behavior. And conversation is major. And you're willing to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of times we give up
Oh yeah.
I don't want to do that. That's whack. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, and then like Belito said, we're going to end it on that, which is the perfect thing. You'll find yourself in someone else when you find yourself within. So that's what we're going to end on today. What is wifey material? You already know, you found out what it was. Again, you'll find yourself in someone else when you find yourself within. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and all those kind of things. My name is Roxi Fab, and this is The Fab and the Furious.